bird flies in the skies of Patagonia of southern Chile, and above one of the most fascinating and wonderful mountain landscapes on Earth, the Torres del Paine National Park. The diverse variety of landscapes here is captivating. A harmonic union of rock, ice and water, the ideal habitat for the indigenous wildlife that lives in the southern regions of South America. The absence of human habitation and the remoteness of this area in the Magellan region is ideal for wildlife. Three high granite mountains tower above the landscape. They are the Paine Towers, the Torres del Paine. Indeed, the park derived its name from the rock needles of this wonderful mountain range that's situated in the center of a remarkable mountain world. Below the 2,800-meter high summits, several rivers dominate the landscape, such as the Rio Grey, on whose banks grow a large variety of plants. The local flora extends from rare orchids to more common bushes and shrubs that each combine to form this colorful landscape. The yellow blossom of the paramela are also impressive. Those who have an eye for the wonderful detail of nature are in their element here. The strong winds of Patagonia frequently blow across the Torres del Paine National Park. Its varied landscape has made the 72,000 square kilometer park a unique habitat, a pure and unspoiled world. On the rainy western slopes and down in the lower areas, such as the Rio Grey River Valley, are large and often dense forests of both lenga and quagua beech trees. The Rio Grey provides a magnificent and natural display of primeval nature. However, the park has not always been quite as untouched as it is today. Up until the end of the 1950s, part of today's park was pasture land. But many sections of this ancient woodland were set on fire by cattle breeders in order to give them additional grazing land. Fortunately, today the landscape is now protected and has returned to its natural state, apart from several huts that are used as offices for those who tend to the park. A precarious chain bridge crosses the Rio Grey to one of the most spectacular vantage points of a nearby lake, the Lago Grey. But before we reach the Mirador Lago Grey, the path leads through a kind of enchanted forest that is just typical of this region. Crooked trees and strangely shaped trunks create a truly magical atmosphere. It's an awe-inspiring place. In this section of the Torres del Paine, it's well worth taking a closer look at the plant life. Various shrubs and orchids, such as the condornochis, are to be found here. In contrast to the higher regions, the deciduous woodlands, along with the more rainy regions, feature a large variety of plant life. In the eastern section of the park, there's so little rainfall that trees are unable to establish themselves, and only certain kinds of small bush are able to survive. In the higher regions of the park, the forest gives way to tundra, whose plants mainly feature small bushes, mosses and grasses. In the higher regions, there are semi-deserts with only a few scattered bushes. Suddenly there's a spectacular view, the Lago Grey. This lake is famous for the mighty ice of a nearby glacier, the Glacier Grey. The glacier in the northern section of the Lago Grey has left visible traces, not only on the land, but also in the water in the form of huge ice flows. The journey through the Torres del Paine continues by water. A small rubber dinghy takes us to an excursion boat. Transferring from one boat to another can be quite risky, but it's very necessary, as due to the rough waters of the Lago Grey, the large boat cannot be moored to the bank. The tour to the glacier begins. High waves cause the boat to roll up and down. Several passengers are seasick. After a short time, everyone gradually adapts to the conditions and becomes more relaxed. Indeed, the beautiful scenery acts as an effective distraction. This trip on the Lago Grey is the first highlight of a fascinating journey across one of the most spectacular landscapes in South America. The boat eventually reaches the impressive Glacier Grey at the southern end of the Patagonian icefield. Here, the ice masses of the glacier meet the waters of the lake. It's an amazing sight. Gigantic sheets of ice that have broken away from the glacier float past the boat and are a majestic sight. Rock and ice lie side by side. Although Glacier Grey is not one of the biggest of Patagonia's glaciers, it's nevertheless quite an experience to travel alongside the eternal ice by boat. The landscapes of the Torres del Paine have not only been formed by the elements, but also by huge masses of glacial ice. Although most of Patagonia's glaciers are receding, many huge chunks of ice continue to break away. A dramatic sight. Mighty layers of ice tower up at the edge of the Glacier Grey. This glacier is part of the Campo de Hielo Sur, a huge glacial area that extends across both Chile and Argentina. During the last ice age, a thick layer of ice covered the whole of Patagonia. Only the highest summits appeared above the ice. At a length of around 17 kilometers, Glacier Grey is the largest glacier in the Torres del Paine. The large variety of shapes formed by the ice is mesmerizing. Finally, the boat leaves the glacial tongue and the huge wall of ice disappears. All that remains are the more than 30-meter high, slowly melting ice sheets that float along the Lago Grey. For the last time, the view reaches across the surrounding mountains to as far as the picturesque mountain lake and various icebergs. Some kilometers further south of the Lago Grey, on the banks of the Rio Serrano, the landscape is serene. A number of buildings indicates the presence of man. Settlements and villages don't exist here in the heart of Patagonia. At the time of the estancias, horses were the most important means of transport for the caballeros in this remote part of Chile. Today, though, horses are an infrequent sight in the park's lower regions. The beautiful meadows along the Rio Serrano create a harmonious and peaceful atmosphere. Here, nature dominates all. Occasionally there are the remains of old fences. Sheep have now been banned from the Torres del Paine National Park. The Lago del Toro is a splendid area. Around the lake, the plant life is quite enthralling. The color of the blossom is in stark contrast to the ice of the glaciers. Chickweed, a plant of the carnation family, grows here and in many other areas of the national park. In addition to its imposing mountains and glacial landscapes, it's the immense variety of plants that has made this national park famous. It's believed that there are a total of 200 or more from different species within the nature reserve, including the Amarilla viola and the Reichai viola that are typical of Chilean flora and adorn the landscape with wonderful color. The Lago del Toro is one of the largest areas of water in the Torres del Paine, and its wonderful location also makes it one of the most beautiful. In the light of the setting sun, the Lago del Toro is like a scene from a magnificent work of art. But the lake is not only popular with humans, but also with the wildlife that inhabits this remote area. The Rio Paine that flows through the northern part of the park is known for its varied walking routes, though for most of the time this region can be quite stormy. For those who like to trek, the Torres del Paine is a real paradise, but it's essential to be suitably equipped. The unpredictable weather that can change from sunshine to hailstorm and from hot to cold in just a few minutes can be quite a challenge. There are both long and short walking routes. The Paine Trail takes between 6 to 10 days to complete. It leads around the entire mountain range. The route along the Rio Paine is particularly scenic. It contains several small lakes that make ideal stopping points due to the marvelous scenery. Here, civilization is a long, long way away. Wind, water, ice, and rock. Each has formed this landscape over millions of years and created scenery that is totally unique. Here in the low regions, there is lush vegetation, plus a large variety of bushes, grasses, and wildflowers that give this area its special charm. For those who wish to relax before the next day's adventure, there's a choice of 7 hotels within the park. Each of the hotels and refugios are magnificently located amid this untouched mountain world, some close to the lake. Here the waves beat constantly onto the stony shores of the mountain lake. Both wind and water are the only sounds to be heard. A world of tranquility and isolation with an impressive mountain backdrop. The surroundings of the Sulta Grande are one of the most captivating areas of the entire national park. The steep towers of Paine and the nearby summits of the Central Massif are visible from the waterfalls. The small and almost hidden detail that nature in the heart of Patagonia features can only really be seen at close quarters by walkers. Striking members of the local plant kingdom are capachitos, slipper flowers that exist in various forms throughout South America. Most types of these slipper flowers, such as the Calceolaria uniflora, are mainly to be found in the southern regions of the continent. The untouched landscape and special climate that dominates the Torres del Paine favors an abundant variety of rare and endemic plants, color wherever one looks. The path to the Sulta Grande waterfall travels through a paradise-like flower garden. The plants here are almost as famous as the mountains. In spring and early summer, the landscape is full of splendid blossom that is blown by strong winds. A further variety of slipper flower that is well known in Chile is the topa topa, that is much sought after by plant enthusiasts. The transformation between two different landscapes, the Argentinian Pampas and the Magellan forests, is plain to see in the Torres del Paine National Park. Although the sun shines here, the climate in the Chilean region of Patagonia is mainly dominated by the Western Andes. Patagonia is the only moderately cool area in the southern hemisphere, a fact well known by walkers here. The numerous lakes of the nature reserve are also home to the flamingo, and various other water birds have also been found in a protected habitat here. For the phytophagous animals that live in this region, many varieties of grass and bush are important. The name Patagonia is not derived from the primeval inhabitants of South America, but from the famous Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. During his winter visit to the further southern region of Tierra del Fuego in 1520, Magellan encountered the local Tehuelche Indians. The Indians were physically quite large and reminded Magellan of the mythical giant Pathagon, who was written of in the 16th century. For Ferdinand Magellan, the region was a land of giants. Today, Patagonia is known for its scenic landscapes. A highlight of the Rio Paine is the Sulta Grande. The water rages down in several cascades into a lake below. The raw power of the untamed white foaming water that rushes by is real evidence of the natural forces that manifest themselves here in the center of the park. The current of the Rio Paine is so strong in this section that to fall in here would mean almost certain death. The might of the waterfalls is quite awesome. The Sulta Grande connects two lakes, the Lago Nordenskjöld in the north of the park and the southern Lago Pejoy. The 30-metre-high waterfalls have now become a popular destination for visitors to the park and trekkers from around the world. Hardly surprising, as the Sulta Grande is one of the park's most well-known natural sights. Following the Rio Paine, eventually there's a landing stage. From here, there are boat trips on the picturesque Lake Pehoy. As with each of the boats that travels on the lake, this one also highlights the national pride of Chile. From aboard the boat on the Lago Pehoy, there's an even more beautiful view of a unique and dramatic natural spectacle. The mighty Sulta Grande waterfalls and the raging Rio Paine, whose waters plunge down with a great, thunderous roar. The journey across the lake is quite rough due to a strong wind that is churning up the water and creating high waves, moving the boat up and down. In addition to seasickness caused by the motion of the boat, passengers must also endure a cold wind. For the boat's captain, the weather is normal. The storm doesn't bother him at all, and he continues to steer the boat across the lake. After a while, most of the passengers have adapted to the uncomfortable conditions and are able to enjoy the beauty of the surrounding mountains. A boat trip in the Torres del Paine is always an adventure here in this southerly region of the world. The countless lakes and rivers here are only allowed to be negotiated by official park staff. Private boats are not permitted. Finally, we reach the landing stage on the western side of the lake. On land, close to the Refugio Pehoy, the next passengers are waiting to go on board. They're on the return journey. While the newly arrived passengers disembark and receive their luggage, the other passengers step on board. For many years, tourism has been one of the most important sources of income in the Chilean region of Patagonia. Each year, between 70,000 and 80,000 visitors come to the Torres del Paine. So boats are of great importance here. Although the park is open all year round, most come here during the temperate summer months, from November to February. With the foundation of the national park in 1959, this remote region began to change, and the mountain region of Patagonia became more popular. infrastructure of the park gradually developed. Transport and traffic routes were built. First lodges, followed by hotels. From the beginning, much effort was made to retain the untouched character of the landscape. Despite numerous improvements, the region is still quite difficult to access. The nearest airport is almost 400 kilometers away. After the ship has returned to its landing stage a few kilometers later, and the next trip takes us to a magical forest. An enchanting place, gnarled trees that have to withstand the strong winds of this region. Old dry branches indicate that a number of the trees have lost their fight against the powerful winds of the Magellan region. Tours through the Enchanted Forest are one of the most impressive and memorable impressions of the Torres del Paine. The variations in form of the old and weather-beaten trees is almost without limit, with fabulous beings spotted in the tree trunks and amazing shapes in the branches of this mysterious forest. A closer look reveals the natural inhabitants of the forest, the local bird life. In addition to the strange enchanted forest, the park contains further remarkable natural sights, such as this rock wall. Large steps have been cut into the rock, but they were not created by man, but by the force of nature. The steps that seem to grow out of the rock underline the charming character of the unique and primeval landscape of Patagonia. The park's granite mountains are now growing in popularity among mountaineers as they're extremely challenging. Climbing in the Central Massif must be well planned and go through all the relevant official channels. For the less adventurous who come to the Torres del Paine, there is still much to discover. The diversity of scenery here is quite incredible. Guanacos is one of the region's most well-known animals, and above, huge Andes condors circle majestically. There are around 145 species of birds in the park, including a large number of rare waterfowl that are threatened by extinction. There are not as many mammals, amphibians, reptiles and fish here as there are birds. Guanacos, that can be seen in many sections of the park prefer open grassland. They are also to be found in the higher regions. Wild guanacos live in families that usually comprise up to 15 members. The young are forced to leave the herd when they're between 12 to 15 months old. Their close relationship to the indigenous llama is evident by their mannerisms. And guanacos also spit when they're disturbed. Male young group together to form herds and fight for power and the leadership of the herd. After a young male has left the boy group, it attempts to establish its own herd and to gather young females around it. Guanacos belong to the camel family and are plant eaters. They mainly eat the fresh grass that grows in abundance here. The marvelous wilderness of the Patagonian pampas provides wildlife with a perfect habitat free from threat. Shining colors of more than 400 species of blossoming plant life is truly breathtaking. The park's walking paths that travel through green valleys are flanked by numerous flowers in all the colors of the rainbow, a feast for the senses amid pure nature. Further north of the Lago Bahoe, surrounded by steep, rocky slopes, is yet another picturesque lake, Lago Nordenskjöld. Its name is unusual for the region, yet seems to be appropriate as much of it resembles a Scandinavian fjord. The name of the lake is derived from the Swedish geologist Otto Nordenskjöld, who visited this magnificent area. At the end of the 19th century, Nordenskjöld traveled to Patagonia, where he led several geological expeditions. At the end of the last ice age and the retreat of the glaciers around 14,000 years ago, wildlife re-established itself in Patagonia. The oldest trace of animal life in this region was discovered in 1895 by German explorer Hermann Eberhard. Cave close to the present park, the German settler found the remains of a prehistoric metre that had become extinct 10,000 years earlier. The discovery of the Mylodon was a scientific sensation, and traces of human life were also discovered in the cave. The entrance to the cave was closed up by the former inhabitants of Patagonia. It's believed that the up to 4 meters megaterrace was stored in there by cavemen for their supply of meat. that once made up today's national park was far more inhabited than it is today. From the Lago Nordenskjöld, there's a wonderful view of the park's natural landmark, the 2,500-meter-high Torres del Paine. The remains of a dead guanaco indicate that the park is also the habitat of a legendary yet dreaded predator, the puma. The shy puma avoids contact with man. However, for the park's Guanacos, the puma is a major threat. The Guanacos are always on their guard. The up to 1.5 meter long puma roams the park silently and almost unseen. It's much easier to spot Patagonia's bird life. The large lakes, forests and pampas provide the perfect living space for a number of rare species. The surroundings of the Lago Sarmiento have become popular for the observation of wildlife. Have adapted to the constant presence of man. Many small herds live around the lake, and several varieties of goose that live in the park have also become accustomed to humans. The interaction of the landscape, the lake, the mountains, and numerous wildlife creates a fascinating impression of nature. When the Guanacos of the Lago Sarmiento roll playfully on the ground, the atmosphere is very special indeed. Here, the natural world of Patagonia is, despite slight encroachment by man, as pure and untouched as it was thousands of years ago. In the deepest south of the South American continent, this paradise-like wilderness lives on. The Torres del Paine National Park is rightly known as the most wonderful mountain world on Earth. Here, rock, water, and indigenous plant life combine to create a perfect harmony of nature.